The movie wasn't really wasting that much time on meaningless things like that.
Hello?
So well in there.
Oh my God!
Nobody got him.
Expect him.
Now why would I expect him? Who is this?
Fuck this movie! Meanwhile, Tommy Lee Jones continues his role of sitting on ass and contributing nothing to the story when his deputy comes in and discusses the poor bastard that Anton killed on the side of the road. He explains that they examined the body and that they couldn't find any bullet in the entry wound.
Wasn't no bullet.
Yes, sir. Wasn't none.
Well, Wendell, with all due respect, that don't make a lot of sense.
No, sir.
You said entry wound in the forehead, no exit wound.
Yes, sir.
You telling me he shot this boy in the head and then went digging around in there with a pocket knife?
No, sir, I don't want a piece of that.
I will.
That's why I send that there for you, Sheriff.
Yeah, Maureen, you better have.
Rangers and the DEA are headed back out to the scene this morning. You gonna join them?
Any new bodies accumulated out there?
No, sir.
Well, then I guess I can skip it.
Okay, we already know that Anton killed this guy, who has nothing to do with this movie, mind you, with his fancy little air tank. So, is this conversation going to give you any insight into that? Is it going to give you any insight into your character, someone else's character, some part of the story? Does it add in any way to the plot? Is there any reason in the fucking universe why we needed to watch that scene? So, anyway, after eating up some more screen time with that pointlessness, Llewellyn checks into a hotel. Now, here's what happens in short order. Llewellyn goes to the hotel and checks into a room. He sticks his case in an air vent and then checks into another room and retrieves the satchel. It seems simple, but of course we also have to watch him unscrew the screws, take a pole off of the clothes hinge, stand up on a chair, shove the bag in with a big stick, go to the store, buy more poles, put them together, make a hook thing out of it, and drag the satchel back to him. Because we really needed to sit through all of that. Anton eventually tracks the bag to the hotel, but comes in to find Llewellyn's first room empty. He goes to another room and finds a group of Mexicans who were also here to ambush Llewellyn, but takes them all out. So it seems that he has a bit of competition now. It eventually occurs to him to look in the air vent, but by now, Llewellyn has already gotten away with the money and heads for another hotel. Now, I will give the movie this. We have finally learned one trait about Llewellyn other than the fact that he has a bag of money. He also seems to be very resourceful. But see, the problem is that resourcefulness is an external trait. You could make one of the nameless stormtroopers in Star Wars resourceful, and we still wouldn't care because we still don't know who he is. In order for us to care about whether or not some guy gets away with a bag of money, we have to care about or know something about the guy. And we don't. And what makes this worse is that this movie has been on for an hour, and still, all we know so far is that some guy found a bag of money and some other guy is chasing after him. So then Woody Harrelson comes in out of butt-fuck nowhere and starts talking to Stephen Root. Guys, you haven't developed the characters that you already have, and now you're dumping more in? You haven't given us any characters in the hour that this abortion has been running, and now you're introducing more? Why don't you develop the characters you have instead of dumping more empty vessels into this pile of shit? All I'm going to say is this. If you're introducing more people an hour into the film when so far no one and nothing has happened in your film, you better have a goddamn good reason for bringing them into the story. Harrelson is also hired to track down the money and is on his way to find it. Meanwhile, Llewellyn has checked into another hotel, but this time he discovers the transponder in his bag. When he calls the front desk and no one answers, he knows something's up, so he shuts the lights off and waits for Anton. Anton eventually arrives in the room, and the two begin a chase and shootout. Both men are injured, and both get away. So once again, this movie has been on for over an hour, and all that's happened is that some guy found a bag of money and got away with it twice, and some other guy is trying to retrieve it but didn't get it twice. So after getting away from the shootout, Llewellyn kind of wanders around the border for 5 hours. Oh, wait. Stop the sarcasm. Here comes a group of kids. Holy hell, is something actually going to happen in this movie now?
Were you in a car accident?
Give me $500 for that coat. Let me see the money.
Were you in a car accident?
Yeah. Hey, give me the money. It's right here. Give me the clothes. Let him hold the money. Give it here. We got beer, too. How much?
All right, give him the beer.
Okay, well, thanks for sucking more time out of the film to let us know he got a shirt and a beer. Lord knows you don't have a story to tell or any characters to develop, right? I'm sure he took a shit along the way, too. Why don't you just show us that? So anyway, after wasting our time with that, Llewellyn slowly and tediously throws the bag over a side of the bridge into a nondescript field. Then he just kind of wanders across the border, and the Border Patrol guy sees him but doesn't care, I guess. Why not? Then he wakes up the next morning and a mariachi band is playing in his face, and his friend. So meanwhile, Anton blows up a truck as a diversion to steal a few things from a pharmacy. Then he goes home and cleans his wound. So Anton cleans his wound. 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 No, stop telling me to shut up. If you were happy watching this in the film, you should be perfectly happy watching a description of this in the film. Anton cleans his wound. 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 No, don't skip this part of the review. If you were happy watching this in the film, you should be perfectly happy watching a description of this in the film. Fine, I won't even describe it. We'll just watch it. So anyway, after making us watch Anton clean his fucking wound for 5 hours, we cut to Tommy Lee Jones. And if you're pissed off at me for making you sit through that, Good. That's how you should have felt when you saw it.